Welcome back, everybody, to Soul and Self Collective. I am Scott, and this is.
I'm Elizabeth or Liz.
And today, the main point of topic is going to be about the struggle of the Husha.
Which is you.
This came up a lot. Like a lot of the questions were starting to pop up about like the life of a Husha. What do we do? What do we like? What do we have to worry about? And we were at a ceremony this weekend, and
Not our ceremony.
yeah, not our ceremony, someone else's, and there was a lot going on. And the Husha was running around a lot.
Tell me about that. What did you notice?
I noticed that the main thing was looking at the family that was around and being able to listen to what the shaman is requesting and understanding it and being very attentive of it, because it can come up very quick, very rapidly, where everything's going fine 1 minute and then next thing you know, there's a lot of stuff that needs to happen. Like we need to get, if you're doing one with animals, there has to be a certain time where the pig needs to be taken away.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be a time where you're going to be doing stuff with the shijing. I said it wrong. How do you say it?
Xianing.
Zineng.
No, not with a Z. Xia?
Xianeng.
Xia?
Xia.
No.
Ah.
With a T. Xia?
Xia.
Uh-huh. Xianing.
Xianeng.
There you go.
And there's just a lot of different things you have to be paying attention to. Are we having to kill a spirit? Are we having to catch a spirit? Are we trying to save a spirit?
I'm glad you brought this up, because when I'm in my chants, I'm wondering, do you know those keywords to know what I'm doing in my journey? Have you picked it up yet?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so it's really important that we go over and you recognize those keywords, because it's really important that you, as my Husha, understand that. Because when I'm doing a ceremony and let's say I come across unfriendly beings,
yeah,
and I need my tsinning, or I'm using words that I'm going to battle, I need you to be on alert and to listen out for things I might need, like my sword, my danda. You need to know those words. Or if I say words like Vishu, you know that there's negative energies or bad things around, and I'm cleansing.
Yeah. And that's I'm glad that you brought that up, because last night you sent me a message telling me that the house felt like there was a lot of Vishu, I believe.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I had absolutely no idea what that meant. I kind of put two and two together and came to the realization of it. But when I was reading it, I was like, yeah, I don't know what that means. But what you asked me to do kind of bridged the gap of what it was. And I came to the conclusion that it was unclean or negative spirits.
Yeah. Yep. So, okay. So let's
learn some Hmong words.
Yes.
Okay. I'm ready to be judged.
No, I'm not judging you, and I don't think any of our viewers, you guys are judging Scott or me too, because what if I'm not teaching him right? You guys can help. But so let's go over some of like the tools again.
Okay.
What do you call the big round thing with the spokes on? With stars.
Tsinning.
Like, yes, tsinning. Yeah, what about the round one? That's also tsinning.
Is it?
Yep.
How can I tell the difference when you're asking?
I'll let you know. I'll name my tsinning with the round. That's round.
Oh, okay.
I'll say, I should be able to say it in English.
But in Hmong, is there a...
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that you're aware of. So they're both called the same one. It's just I just need to know what you're doing with it. Mm-hmm. Should prompt me with what I'm doing with it. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
If I've obviously never hosted a ceremony before, but if I imagine if I'm going to go after, like, say, a soul, mm-hmm. if you hear the words like "bli," "bli," that's me chasing after a spirit. Yeah. But again, I've never went and hosted a ceremony to chase after someone who lost their spirit.
Yeah, that's right.
So, but I've heard that shaman terminology before. Yeah. I don't know if that actually goes in the actual chants. Mm-hmm. And And so,
Yeah, because I know during this weekend when the ceremony was going on, I saw a lot of things that I'm assuming I'm going to be doing in the future.
like what?
Like when they were holding the sinning and then they were putting it over someone's head.
Yeah.
Because it obviously not, I know if it's a larger one, they can actually step through it.
Yeah, you put it through their entire body, like dropping down and this.
Yeah. Yeah, because like I would have no idea when to do that or why they're doing that. Even now, I really don't know.
But you'll know that part though, because I'll tell you. Okay, you're kind of you're jumping because right now we're still trying to get you to understand like the words, the keywords that you are going to be listening out for. But what you're asking and referring to, that's later part when a shaman is hosting like their ceremony.
Yeah.
They're fixing a client, and after they are done with the rope and whatnot, and the shaman opens the rope for the client to step out, they normally have the sinning over on top, either through them or whatever.
Yeah.
You're supposed to shake it and then you drop it to see if it captures their spirit.
Okay.
Yeah. That's one of the time when you'll be doing that.
Yeah.
And then another moment is when, say, I'm in the journey way after that part, and I'm going on my journey to fix them, to cleanse the home, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Something happens along the way and I come across their spirit again. I may have you ask the client to come back to the area that they were, and do the same process over again.
Yeah.
And then just watching how Tassie did it, she also had her Husha use a pair of horns to confirm with answers, depending on how it like flips.
Yeah. And
on top of the shaking.
Yeah, and they also did what's the bell called?
Tuning.
Yeah, how do you say it?
Tuning.
Yep. So she was using the tuning. I know that she was putting it on the back part of it. What's that for?
Oh gosh, I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I remember that it's essential.
Yeah, I've seen it in multiple ceremonies, and that's usually right after they catch the spirit.
Obviously it has to do with the client.
Yeah.
It's either to protect them or to completely like sever like whatever string that they had with X entity.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that.
Someone will let us know.
Yeah, someone will let us know.
Tassie.
Yeah. But never got that far. But so far, the beginning, I got that far down.
Yeah. And I will say, since we're only in the first level shrine so far, the only things I've really had to do, since we're just kind of at home doing everything here and not really doing any ceremonies, is the one time when you did have a spirit.
You're really trying to get away from speaking Hmong, aren't you?
Oh no, it's just flowing into those things.
I know.
But okay,
I know, but it's really, really important that you understand those terminology and that you understand my song, because it's really important.
Okay, so
even if you can't understand what I'm saying word for word, you need to be listening out to those specific words.
Okay. Sounds good. So what's some more words that I should be keeping my ear out for?
Okay, so what is the word for negative spirits or like a cloud of negative energy?
Viju? Vishu? Okay. Vishu.
And then what is the little cutout of the people?
No idea. What's that one called? Mahjong. Okay.
Yep. And then what about the paper that goes on the back of the plant?
No idea.
Chua.
Chua. Da. Chua da.
No. Chua. Da. Chua. Da. Close enough. Say it.
My tongue doesn't do that. Chua da.
Not da. Like
chua.
Da. Like ND. Chuan da.
Chwanda.
Yeah, that's
Kind
way
of a
better.
little
Yeah.
better.
What if you need to tell the client, then they put the chicken by the shrine? How
Which
you gonna
happens all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So how are you going to say that? Say to, what if there's nobody there that can speak English? How are you gonna say that?
Charades is going to be on fire. How do we say it?
How? Okay, just for entertainment purpose, how would you say it?
I have no idea.
I'm going, and then you're noticing the rooster is missing. What are you going?
Like, we need the chicken. I'd probably just run and find a chicken and point to it, because I'm assuming most ceremonies usually involve a hoopli. So I'd be pointing at the door and be like, "Where's the chicken?"
Well, some hooplies you don't have to. You don't need the.
That's
chickens.
fair. Yeah.
I'm talking about like fixing ceremonies.
Yeah, I have no idea how to tell them that we need the chicken there. I'd probably point there and been like, I don't know. Yeah. Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see if.
How do we?
Okay. So if it was me, if I was you,
Okay.
I would ask. Oh. Okay.
Does
So
this come to you?
no.
Oh, okay.
So when you're referring to like say a person, depending if they're elderly, middle age, or a child, you call them differently.
Yeah.
So
This one's funny. It's a funny backstory.
I'm not gonna throw my
That's
teacher
fair.
under the bus like that. Anyways, and so when you see an elderly lady,
Okay.
and you're trying to get her attention, what do you refer to as?
You're asking me. I have no idea.
You know it.
What?
You can call her.
No, you're right. It's not the maternal one. It's the
It's not the paternal.
paternal one. Is the Nitai.
Yes.
Yeah. I did it. You didn't have to tell me.
I know, because I know you know it. So yeah, you'd be like, ooh, like you can say ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, nye tai. Just say
Unetai.
oh, nye tai.
Unetai.
Like oh my gosh,
Yeah.
you know, oh nye tai, to get her attention, and you like.
What if it's not? What if a woman's not there?
It's like a guy.
Yeah.
If it's a middle age, like around your age, you can call him bo, like brother, bo.
Okay. Bo.
Bo. Like B.
U.
Bo.
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 Okay.
Oh, bo. Yeah.
Bo.
No, the O is like to get like oh
Oh.
my gosh, something came up, and then you're like
Bo.
oh hey, it's kind of like that kind of
Okay.
thing. Oh, bo.
Okay.
And then if it's like an elderly guy, I would probably say yitzi.
Yitzi.
Yeah.
Yitzi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See.
See.
So let's just pick one. Which one?
Nitai.
Okay. Okay. So you're like oh nyetai. Tu is like
Tu.
the. It's kind of like the.
Okay.
And then what's the long word for chicken?
No idea.
Kai.
Guy. Like Kai.
Like cute.
Oh.
Kai.
Guy.
That's pretty close. Kai.
Guy.
Yeah.
So to guy.
Not with a G, with a Q.
To. Kai. Kai. That's hard. It's either K or.
Not a K. Tukai.
Tukai.
Yes. Tukai.
Tukai.
No, tu.
Huh?
Okay. Nya.
Nya.
Nya is like live, where, whatever. So tukai nya.
Tukai nya.
Hatu.
Hatu. Hatu. I feel like I'm saying the last word wrong.
Yeah, you are, but it's okay. So there's many variation how you can say where's the chicken. Just
Okay.
like how in English you can be like, where's the chicken? Where did you place the chicken? The chicken's missing. There's many ways in how you can say it, right?
Okay.
So which way feels most natural to you that you want to say in English if you're to say it?
In English?
Yeah.
Where's the chicken?
Okay. So,
or like, yeah, where's the chicken?
or you can say the chicken's missing.
Or can you bring the chicken?
Oh, okay. So can you bring the chicken? So you would say.
I feel like that'd be more respectful than saying, where's the chicken?
So you would say what? Itay,
Onatay,
to,
ta,
con ka.
kong, what? Kau ka,
Ta is to beg. Like,
ta,
can you, like,
oh,
please?
ta,
Ka.
ka,
Ka.
ta, ka. What was the last one?
Ga.
Ga,
Ga. Yeah, like bring.
ta, ka, ga,
Ta. Ka.
ta, ka.
Why are you singing?
I'm trying to sound like you. Why did you fluctuate the word?
Just do what's natural to you. Ta. Ka. Ga.
Ta, ka, ga.
Tu kai.
Tu, kai,
La.
la,
Ja.
ja.
Do.
Is there a shorter one?
No.
This got really long really fast. Okay. I don't remember the beginning.
Okay. Good practice. We would be here like the entire
by episode 20.
Yeah, let's
by the 20th video I might be able to say
I think you did really good. So now you can continue onward with but we're gonna keep practicing at that.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
we've got
it's really important.
Months.
It's really important that you know how to,
especially the chicken one, because both ceremonies so far, the family that we've been to, the family has not brought the chicken in. We have to remind them that they need to bring the chicken in.
It's because as ceremonies, so much going on, and so the chicken sometimes is like MIA.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where you just forget about it. You're doing so many other things at the same time. But yeah, that's definitely one of the ones that I noticed that I need to pay attention to, because as the Husha, you have to make sure everything's prepped and everything's ready for the ceremony.
Yep, because you're going to have to prep the shrine. You're going to have to set up the shrine at the client's home.
Yeah, which is another thing that I've noticed can cause a little anxiety, especially for me, is going into a family that you don't really know. So setting up the shrine at a different house is one of the things that causes the anxiety, because you're going into a house that you don't know anybody, and you were asking them to use a lot of their stuff. Can I use your sink? Can I wash these tools? Can I get some water? Where's the egg? I feel like there's just a lot of things that...
Do you feel like they're going to tell you F off?
They're not going to, but it's one of those things where it's like, I'm not just going to open their fridge and grab an egg, right? So it's like, if no one's around or paying attention, I have to go and bother someone. Hey, can I grab one of your eggs out of the fridge? I need an egg.
But you can ask that of the client. They're the one who asked you and your shaman to be there.
Absolutely. But it's just one of those things where it's out of like societal norms, so to say. Like, I was always raised, if you go to someone's house, like, don't touch their fridge, right?
Right.
But they're asking us to be there. If
you're a guest and you're just hanging out with them, but if you're there for like business related and you need those items to accomplish your fixing of whatever, they're
aware of what's coming.
Yeah, they are definitely aware, and they're, from what I've seen so far in attending all the ceremonies that Tassie has done, all of the client has been super helpful and so willing to get whatever X item that's needed.
Absolutely. And I will say that leads into another thing that I think is more of a personal thing for me.
Okay.
Is that that feeling of expectations on me, because I'm not from the culture and I don't speak the language. And it's having that feeling like going to traditional houses, right? Are they judging me? What are they going to be saying about you? What are they going to be saying about me? Are they even going to trust that we know what we're doing because we're not traditional? And I guess being able to work to their expectations, even though I'm not there to meet their expectations. I'm there for me and you, for us. But it's just that mindset of, am I doing everything right?
Well, let me put it this way. Us as therapists, right? Therapists in training, but we're still therapists. Us as therapists, clients, whether from shaman or westernized therapy healing,
Mm-hmm.
clients get to choose and they get to judge and within their rights
Yeah.
to legally discriminate the practitioner, the shaman, the therapist. They legally can. That's just what sucks about our field.
It's their choice. Yeah.
Right. But they're the one who's there for help.
Yeah.
And if they are discriminatory in that way, they don't need help that bad.
Yeah. And they probably wouldn't have chose us in the first place.
Exactly. They wouldn't have chosen you in the first place.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say that's just one of the things that keeps propping up, especially when I'm going to these ceremonies. And the only people I know there are the other shamans that are invited, to the other students.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of that, I'm always just like, trying not to look like the awkward white guy in the corner.
No, far from that.
Yeah. Because even when I'm sitting up front, because for some reason we always end up sitting near the front, I always feel like I shouldn't be there. Like the family should be there and I need to go be somewhere else. I need to be like in the back somewhere, like looking in, but everyone keeps putting us in the front. And I'm always like, feel like I'm in the way.
First come, first serve seat.
I know, I feel so bad. I'm always just like, man, shouldn't the family be watching this? Why am I watching this? Why do I get such a great view?
Because most of the time the families are like scrambling, cooking, prepping other animals.
Which is another thing. Let me tell you.
Oh,
this is just more of like a side note. This has nothing to do with being like a husha, but being there watching other ceremonies and watching someone come up and try and grab the pig, I instantly want to help grab this pig. And Liz always looks at me and she says, "Don't you touch that fucking pig."
You can't. I'm like, oh. Throw me under the bus. You rude ass. Anyways, you can. It's just you really need to clean yourself, and I'm going to get grossed out because you're my husband. We hold hands. I kiss you. Yes, I kiss his face. And so when I see that, that's disgusting. It's repulsive to my clot, and so.
I agree.
Okay, so
it's just one of those. No, it's just one of those things where it's like, I think this came from the therapy as well. Is always wanting to help somebody, and trying to get to that point where I don't want to overstep my boundary and try to like over help somebody. So I'm trying to, like, if I'm trying not to guess what they need,
right.
And that's something that I've always struggled with. I've always just tried to interject when I see something. So if they're trying to pick up the pig, I basically just wanted to go pick up the pig. And I guess I'm trying to be more of a wait and see what they ask for. Do they need help? Because like if they have another like family member there that wants to help, I don't want to be taking that over for them and taking that away from them. So that's just another personal one I would say that keeps popping up because not a lot of people tend to want to help pick up the pig, and I just want to help, but I'm also like trying not to, like you said, offend your owning.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like, that just shows great insights to who you are as a person and trying to respect the family and the person, because most of the time the one grabbing the pig is someone really close to the client.
Yeah.
And so I think you're just trying to be a really respectful person.
I think that's the main thing. I'm just trying to be respectful to everything. And I don't know if sometimes I'm being too respectful and I look like I'm not doing anything. But I feel like those are all just mental things for me to work on.
What would happen if you asked them?
I probably should do that. Instead of assuming they need help, I should probably ask if they need help. But it's something I definitely need to work on.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another thing that keeps popping up and did happen this past week is touching your kokon.
Yes.
Your trinkets on your shrine. So this past week, I was setting your shrine up, and I would say for the past like week or so, I've been having this feeling like one of because you have two trinkets, you have a bear and you have a dragon, and the dragon trinket always felt a little close to where I put the cups down.
Mhm.
What do you call those little white cups? It's not the yeah. What do you call them? The small ones that you
The
put your
soup,
fingers in.
yeah, the little soup cup.
Yeah. What are
Mhm.
those called?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't
We'll just
know
call them like the cup because it's not the
the deja.
deja.
No,
It's
it's
not
not the
that
deja. It's just the little shot glass cup of soup for the
for the
spirits.
spirits. Okay.
For my spirit guides, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. When I'm putting the last one down, I when I put it down, my fingers are always up for some reason. I don't know why. And yeah, maybe
Fancy,
I'm a fancy boy,
fancy
but
boy.
I'm always doing that, and I felt like my pinky was getting awfully close, but I kept thinking I was just being paranoid, so I was like, I'm just being paranoid.
In the past
It's
life,
not gonna
Scott was a
happen.
concert.
Yeah. Don't tell people about my past life. But yeah, I kept having this feeling, and then the day before this happened, my pinky got like numb when I did it, and I was like, fuck, am I getting awfully close to this thing? Like, is he trying to warn me that I'm gonna fuck up one of these days? And then lo and behold, the next day, I'm putting the last cup down,
Yeah.
and I touched him, and I was like, well, that's not good. So I was like, do I tell Liz? Do I not tell Liz? Do I just accept my fate and die? I was like, what's it gonna be?
I'm laughing now, but then I was really stressed out with you too
Yeah.
because I was like, why does this lovely dolphin always do the
His big ass
crazy,
meat hands.
craziest thing?
I know.
And so I went to my trinket and I looked at him in the eye. I'm like, did you do anything to Scott? Dead silent. Radio silent. I probably look like a crazy woman if you saw me talking to.
Yeah.
I was like questioning him like SVU style, like,
Yeah.
did you do it? What did you do? Absolute silence. And it wasn't until I went and Wanang that I actually got images of a animal and showing Scott's or a human hand grazing a hair of it. And the animal was like really tense. And I got the feeling of like annoyance from that. And I'm like, okay, so my trinket didn't do anything to you, but
Yeah.
you really pissed him off.
I know.
You really pissed him off, but he didn't do anything to you. And they also told me, like, gave me a message that it's not that trinket that you need to worry about or offend. You should be worried of the bear trinket. Don't offend that one.
Yeah, that one's way in the back. If I touched that one, I went out of my way to touch that one.
Yeah.
He's not all up front and personal next to the cups. By the way, he's been moved a little bit farther to the right. So he's farther away from my pudgy little fingers.
Yeah. But, you know, so something that came up in my head was like, so why, and this is probably what viewers might be thinking too, but like, why have such dangerous objects on your shrine if you have little kids or you have your husband helping you? Like, why would you do that? It's because the trinket helps protect the shrine, right? And protect me and our home.
And I was fully aware of what this thing can do,
exactly.
would do, and did do. And
we take a lot of precaution.
We do.
You know, so. Yeah. But there's a give and take with having trinkets, obviously. Mm-hmm. But it's really important. I find that it's really important to have the trinkets because when a person goes in Oning, yeah, they definitely do attract a lot of spirits. Yeah. From the woodwork, they'll be attracted to the sound of your tunings or the lights or whatever portal you're opening. Yep. They're going to be attracted to it and they're going to come. And are you going to like fight them every single day? No. I'd rather just have my trinket there and eat whatever's coming. Yep. You know? Or let me know and then I can go and take care of it, whatever the case might be. Yeah. But I don't want my shrine for my Poning to be like, exposed and kind of unprotected. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And I will say, I'm looking forward to the second level shrine.
You are?
Yeah, because they get tucked away
Oh
into the
yeah,
second
yeah, yeah.
shelf. Yeah. So
No, I'll actually miss seeing them. I'm not.
I kind of agree with that.
I'm not sure if
You're going to be putting them down there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Let's make it chunkier so I can have more
I
stuff.
think on my second shrine,
Uh huh.
I get another trinket, or maybe that's the third level, but I get another trinket.
There's 3 of them?
Yeah,
Oh.
there's three. But remember, we already found one.
Yeah, we did.
It's that little tiny. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's cool.
if you are a rising shaman, rising shaman, definitely think about that. If you want trinkets on your shrine or not.
Yeah, because it is an option. I remember her saying that it was an option. Yeah, and then you had to go and buy like the funnest looking trinkets possible to get.
It's non-negotiable if you do kokonwe.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. But that, and again, it depends on your lineage, right? Obviously.
That's very true. Yeah.
So, but for my lineage that I fall under Tassie, kokon, you have to have those trinkets, non-negotiable. But if you choose the animal route, then it's optional. And I just went with like better, like better safe than sorry.
There's nothing, like the negatives aren't super negative, especially if you take precautions to keep people away from it and make sure everyone knows not to touch them, which went good until that day.
Yeah, it was just.
I was like, well, I couldn't even make it a year. I didn't even make it like 3 months.
I will say at the first few days when I raised, I was really friggin' paranoid that the baby gate was down, like not closed. And, when Theo wakes up, he just kind of wonders. He doesn't just stay on the bed with us. He like kind of wonders. And so there was a time when I remember waking up and he was gone. And the baby gate, because we have 2 baby gates, right? One by our doorway and then one in front of the shrine. And so the one by our doorway, it was open. And Theo was nowhere to be found on the 3rd floor. And I'm like, F-bomb. And so I'm like about to freaking Wolverine my butt down to my shrine area to find Theo playing with the dragon or my bear trinket.
Yeah.
But he came up crawling up, bear crawling up the stairs and was like, huh, Mama? I'm like, oh my God, did you touch him?
Nope. Because Iris was down there.
No, she wasn't. She was asleep.
Oh, she went down there?
Oh, wow. It was like, but this little monster. And so I like ran downstairs because I just did not have that peace of mind.
Yeah.
I went and the baby gate was closed. Oh my God. I've never been so relieved. Like on my way down, I was asking my quad. I was like, oh my God, did Theo touch my trinkets? Did Theo touch my trinkets? And they're like, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. But I didn't give a F what they said. I didn't believe it until I saw that baby gate close.
Yep. And we're pretty good at closing the gate all the time. But now we've gotten to a point where we close the baby gate upstairs too.
Yeah.
So he doesn't crawl down. Yeah.
But some of those things, that's, something.
That just randomly happens. Yeah.
Think about.
Absolutely. And that was one of the scarier points that's happened so far. Was that little fear. And it's just annoying your guides. I feel like I know your guides a lot. I feel like every other day you're like, they're annoyed with you. And I'm like, fuck, what did I do this time?
That's not true.
No?
No. The only time when one of my guides was annoyed with you was when you were talking to him in a term that was like kind of disrespectful to him. And you were treating him
to be buddies.
And you were trying to treat him like he's human, but he's not human, and he's not your friend.
I was trying to normalize it.
Don't do that.
He didn't like that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I know everyone was like, "What are you doing? Don't do that." And I'm like, "My bad."
Yeah.
So I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Probably likes that, doesn't
he? He's been appreciative that you're not doing that. Like, it puts him in a tight and awkward spot. Sure it's kind of like going up to a girl and be like, oh my God, you're going to be my wifey. I'm like, oh, where did this fool come from? you know?
Well.
So, yeah.
Okay. And yeah, those are all so far. Those are really the only struggles that I've come across so far.
Yeah.
Again, we haven't started doing ceremonies. We haven't
Mhm.
really gotten into the thick of it yet. So those days will come. But I am looking forward to using the horns and listening and all those fun
Man,
things.
I'm not gonna lie. So we recently went to a ceremony.
Mm.
One of my peers raising, and when Cassie was talking to that peer, and she was telling them that yeah, by next weekend, a family will be coming to seeking you for services, and you're gonna look into it, and you're gonna fix them. And everyone just kind of glossed over that. But I'm
I
like,
was the same as you. I was like,
I
that
was
was
like,
fast.
she just raised. She's already like fixing. Wait, hold. I was like, oh, wait, you guys, time out. Hold on. Did I hear correctly? Did you say next weekend, not like next month, 6 months? Did you say next weekend? That
It was fast.
this person right here, my peer, is going to have an incoming family to come ask for help, and she is going to fix them. Like, because
That was fast. I was amazed at how fast it was. Like, wow, that's some pressure knowing that that's coming. And you just rose.
I know, right?
And then you're over here
I
with
love
like
being in my first
I
level
know
shrine.
you're over here like, man, I still got 6 months before I can even go up to
Okay,
number
well,
2.
it's a give and take, because while I did get my baby step of
Yeah, because they
waddling.
sure didn't want you to be at the first
No, they
shrine
didn't.
for
But I'm
10
glad.
months.
But I'm glad I went to the first shrine, because it
Yeah.
really protected me to just really dip my feet. No, trying to learn how to walk, talk, and move around in the spirit world, and getting comfortable with naming and learning my tools and the process and all that jazz.
Yeah.
And now I have a lot of downtime with them, and so like my sessions are shorter, and it's gonna be a long summer, but that's okay. I cannot imagine going straight to my second level, not even having like a month to get acquainted with my guides and to like learn like the tools and the process and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm already getting told like,
oh, straight in the work.
You're just to let you know, you're gonna have a client soon. I'm not gonna tell you who, because I obviously don't know who, but then you're gonna get a client. It's coming. And you're gonna fix them.
Yep. Yeah, that was wild.
Well, holy damn. I will try to attend a lot of my peers, if you're watching, all of your guys' ceremony, if possible.
Yeah, we're putting a lot of effort in trying to make it to everything that we can. All right. Well, thanks for watching. There's obviously going to be more updates to this as we start to do more things throughout our journey as well.
Yeah. No, but it's good that you brought up like the struggles that you're seeing as a Husha without actually like doing all the demanding tasks.
Yeah.
Because right now you're just kind of chilling, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no lie. Right now I get excited when you're like sitting. I'm like, oh, did you just say what I think you said?
Yeah.
It's only happened once in like 3 months. So
yeah.
But when it does, you're like, yeah, let's do it.
But something I wanted to mention that in the next video, I really want to talk about spiritual attacks and what that's like and all that jazz.
Yeah.
So that's something to look for in the next video.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
We'll see you then. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.